Hi everyone, this is a short video to show you how to map out the features that you have found on your map. So you've created your study area and it is on what we call a layer, and that layer can be turned on or off by simply checking the checkbox beside the layer name. Now, if you don't see the names of your layers, then you're not in details mode. So click on details and then click on content, and you'll see the names of all of the layers that you have created so far. So what we want to do at this point is identify a few features that you may have seen in your study area. So for instance, maybe a house has got some solar panels on it, maybe you've seen some bike lanes, or somebody with rain barrels, or you're identifying some economic things like there's a local grocery store and a bank, which are essential elements that should be in walking distance of every single uh, community. So what we're going to do is create a new layer, but first of all, I'm going to turn off the existing layers. This way, there's no confusion. I won't be adding features to another layer, so I'm just going to turn that off. And I'm also going to switch the base map over to satellite with imagery because this way I can actually see the buildings and hopefully I can recognize where things are that I saw on my little walk in the neighborhood. So I'm going to go add map notes. That's going to create a new layer. And I'm going to call this positive characteristics. I want to keep it relatively short. I don't want to have too long of a name for the layer. So I'm just going to say that, for instance, maybe this house right here had a solar panel on it. And what I'm going to do is change the symbol so that, for instance, all of the positive characteristics that are related to, let's say, environmental things, environmental sustainability, are going to be green stars. And I'm just going to bump up the size to size 40 of the symbol. And maybe over here I saw somebody with a rain barrel, so I'm going to put that on here. And it's the same type of feature. So I'm going to use the same symbol. But now let's say I'm going to identify the local grocery store. So I'm going to use push pin. And in this case, I'm going to use a similar symbol. So I'm going to use stars, but in this case, I'm going to use a red star. Now, just realize that I don't have to use simple symbols like stars. There are different types of symbols that are available. So for instance, down here is the arena. So that's a positive social thing. It's people together doing physical fitness. Uh, so what I'm going to do perhaps is instead of using shapes, I could use outdoor recreation. And for instance, in here, there is a variety of different symbols. Maybe I'll use this one. And once again, I'm going to bump it up to the same size, size 40. So you decide on what kind of symbols you want to use for your map. Once you've completed all of your symbols, oh, by the way, if you make a mistake, you can always click on a symbol and then you can drag it over if it's in the wrong location. Or if you don't like it at all, you can simply delete it. If you want to get really fancy, you could include an image. Now, you could use your own images, which I'll show you later. Um, Actually, in this case, it's best to just leave the symbols. We'll put the images in later when it comes to your story map. Don't forget to save your work. Click on save, save. Hopefully, you've already saved it before. And remember that if you're returning to this map and you want to continue editing this, all you have to do is simply turn on the layer that you want to work with, make sure all other layers are turned off, and then click on the edit tool, and that will give you all of your tools back.